Jack's snack. Words are words, explanations are explanations, promises are promises, but only results are reality. Chapter 14. Persistent. In the world of sales and business, you must persist. I teach the rule of 15. The rule states that if, over time, you can find a way to ask for a client's business 15 times or more, you have an 80% chance of at least getting a small yes. More than half of all sales reps give up trying to get the sale after the first rejection. The rule of 15 rewards the persistent salesperson. Ask someone for his or her business. If you can persist and find a way to do that sincerely, they will respond. So many people quit asking when they are one no away from being awarded the sale. Allow me to repeat from earlier. If you don't ask, A-S-K, you don't get, G-E-T. Be sure you are constantly asking questions, or in the world of commission-based sales, if you don't ask, you don't eat. Never give up. Make that extra call. Plan one last sales call before you fold your tent for the day. Going within, more than talk. The year was 1981, and I worked for Big Blue, IBM. It was my second year of being on a sales quota, my second year in the territory. When the president of IBM, GSD division, Lou Gray, came to St. Louis and visited our branch office, I was a rookie, barely shaving, and looking all of 23 years old. When he had finished speaking, he asked if there were any questions. I raised my hand from the back of the room. I have a question, I said. How do I get your job? Ballsy? You bet. It was a way for me to stand out and be noticed, albeit a risky one. Of the 140 people in that room, he approached me at the end of the meeting. He told me that I had to do things better than anyone else does. He said, John, my real name, be the best at whatever you decide to do. What can I say? The man inspired me. At that moment, I looked him in the eyes and said, I plan to lead the country in new account sales this year. My goal this year is to sell at least one computer a week. This was a year before the advent of the PC. Lou looked at me incredulously. Do you know how many sales reps there are in the country? There are 4,000. That's a pretty bold prediction. I held my ground. I said, I think I'm up to the task. I won't give up. Famous last words. In fact, that year was the most incredible year of my life. Everyone from the president of IBM, GSD, on down knew my goal, to lead the country in new account sales. Once I made the goal clear, I had to go execute it. I started out pretty well. I was selling a few computers. IBM corporate offices noticed my progress and started sending people out to help me. They wanted to help me achieve my goals in the business. Whenever I knew that a sales pro was coming down to my office, I would stack my day to make it the most incredible business day in this person's life. I would have to do some unnatural things to prepare so that they could report back that I was a wonder kid. For instance, I had a remote territory and had to drive 90 miles to make my first sales call. I would pick the person up at the hotel at 5 a.m. because we'd have a breakfast meeting with a potential IBM customer. We'd drive to a Greasy Spoon in Illinois, and from there we would have a series of qualified calls with someone who was about to buy a computer. I choreographed it like the director of a play. Usually we would get back around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. If this guy works this hard, I wanted them to think, no wonder he's successful. My sales picked up. I was near the top, but not at the top. There I was, 23 years old, and competing with people who had been in business all their life. The more I sold, the more support I got. I opened a new account every week, all year. 53 accounts, one per week. Every day I worked a 12-hour day. I wouldn't take no for an answer, at least not until I heard the word 15 times. I was so confident in my ability to sell that I'd go to our St. Louis warehouse and pick a new computer and put it in the car and find someone to sell it to. I was the guy who got in the rowboat, brought tartar sauce, and went out to meet Moby Dick every day. The top sellers at IBM received the Eagle Award with an automatic Golden Circle qualification. If I made the Golden Circle, IBM would send me to Hawaii with my future wife. Since I was getting married the next year, this was good timing. In addition, I would receive $10,000 in cash and a valuable piece of art. So there I was, cruising on, cruising on. IBM was darkening the sky with people to help me in my pursuit. Only one night that year do I recall having trouble sleeping. It was the next to the last day, and I realized that I was going to have to sell 5 computers in 2 days to meet my goal of selling 52 computers in a year. I thought there was no way on God's earth that I could sell 5 computers. So on the last day of the year, I showed up at work at 6 o'clock in the morning as usual. I opened the door to the office, and there stood at least 20 people. The whole office showed up to help me. Sales reps, systems engineers, administrators, and managers all surprised me and offered to help me because they knew what was at stake. They all banded together to help me sell the 5 computers. At the end of the day, we had sold 6 computers. I at last led the world in new account sales at IBM. Lou Gray came in and presented me a suitcase with $10,000 in cash, and I gave half of it away to those who had helped me. The money was not important. What was important was achieving the goal. That was one of those crowning turning points in my life. Persistence in achieving goals is the number one thing that you can bring to the table. Reaching out. He wanted to play ball. When I first moved to St. Louis, one of my first purchases was a duplex. This meant that I shared a wall with another family. Living next door to me was a young couple with a small son named Billy. I was young and single and out of school, and Billy was 11 years old. Both of Billy's parents worked. After school, Billy liked to throw a baseball, and he would ask me to play catch. Billy only wanted to do one thing: play baseball. No matter how many people he had to ask, or how many times he had to ask, he would persist until someone played baseball with him. As long as he was a kid and people asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up, Billy always said the same thing: I want to be a professional baseball player. Adults are usually amused when they hear a grand dream like that. They think, all little boys want to be baseball players. During the 3 or 4 years that I lived next door to Billy, he never stopped throwing baseball. I moved out of the townhouse when he started high school. Every year, Billy persisted until he became the best baseball player he could be. Fast forward to 1996, and Bill Mueller signed his first baseball contract with the San Francisco Giants in the minor leagues. Here is what the Billy page on the internet says about Bill. Every chance he got, he played hard, giving no less than 100%. He quietly showed Giants fans and the rest of the world that he could be an important player in the team's future, if given a chance. He put up consistent numbers at the plate while making spectacular plays in the field. Bill made such an impact on the Giants' management that he was back with the team the next season. The trade of popular third baseman Matt Williams made it hard for fans to accept that Bill would somehow take over the day-to-day grind at third. Mark Lewis was brought in by the Giants to platoon at third base with Bill, but when he got hurt in the beginning of the season, Bill made the best of the opportunity that he was given. He played well, both on the field and at the plate. Each day that went by, he became more and more vital to the team's success. Bill was no longer just the guy playing third. He became someone his teammates constantly relied on, whether it was to get on base, deliver a much-needed clutch hit, or make a spectacular play to help his pitcher out of a jam. He was consistent in his efforts throughout the season, and there is no doubt in anyone's mind that he was one of the many people who played on an important role in helping the Giants win the National League West division title. During the months preceding the 1998 season, the Giants recognized Bill's talents, concentrating on making sure he would be a part of the team for years to come. And when all was said and done, Bill was signed to a 3-year contract. Bill joined the Chicago Cubs after leaving San Francisco and later played third base for the world champion Boston Red Sox after winning a batting title. What a journey indeed. The next step. Do you have a goal in mind that is big and challenging? Have you told someone else about it? How many other people have you enrolled in helping you to achieve your goal? What do you have to do to achieve this goal? What will you do if that doesn't work? What will you do if that doesn't work? How persistent are you? How persistent are you willing to be? I want to know. Send me an email at jack@lifesasalescall.com and tell me about your goals. Let me know what your plan is for today, tomorrow, and however long it takes you to achieve that goal. Building blocks of successful sales. The great American writer, Ralph Waldo Emerson, equated a heroic person with a persistent person. He said, the characteristics of heroism is its persistency. All men have wandering impulses, fits, and starts of generosity. But when you have chosen your part, abide by it, and do not weakly try to reconcile yourself to the world. The heroic cannot be the common, not the common, nor the common the heroic. These are old-fashioned words, yet I think Emerson's idea that a hero is that person who sets their mind upon a prize or goal and remains focused on that goal, excluding all distractions and influences that may dissuade him or her from their goal. In the world of business, the only winners are those who have failed many times and yet persist. When we hear the word hero, we think of someone who is powerful in some way. Persistence is power. It is the power of focus over ego and faith over discouragement. The miracle of life is that you just never know what's going to happen. You may think you know what the parameters are in a situation, but you don't. So, don't give up. Don't give up. The possibilities are endless. 2 ways to jumpstart your career when you feel like throwing in the towel are exhibiting a sense of humor and uniqueness. Life's a journey, not a destination, so enjoy the trip. Keep the word play in your mind all of the time. Play is fun. Play is what we pay to do. Play is why we work. Let's change that to work is play. Lighten up and laugh. Make your workday a game and enroll other people in playing with you. When you experience a setback, remember it's only a game. In other words, this is serious fun, and you can always try again. Play a different way, or take a break and start over. The important thing in relationships, life, and sales is to have fun and communicate that attitude to the people around you. Not only will they buy what you have to sell, they will buy you. That is a great experience to have. One way to make the game interesting is to figure out what makes you completely different than the next guy. For instance, if the thing that makes your Italian tiles better than the other guy's Italian tiles is the intricate designs, then by all means have some t-shirts or silk scarves printed with some of these designs and give them away. Do something eye-catching and fun. If the tiles are sturdier, learn karate and give a demonstration of their unbreakability for your clients. They will love the show. Whatever you have to offer, make sure that it is unique and valuable, and then have fun with it. Life's a sales call, and sales calls are life. I'm here to tell you that it's a fascinating and often uncomfortable journey. To be truly successful in life and relationships, I've had to cultivate the ability to be comfortable with discomfort for a while. Whether it's creating affinity and likability, being honest, trusting, or persistent, I know it's going to cause me some pain if I do it with integrity. That's okay, because the rewards of creating and maintaining relationships with other people are infinite. The practice of relationship sales expands my life out into ever-widening spheres. Schmoozing makes me money, but only in a narrow and short corridor. I invite you today to treat yourself with respect and then take that relationship and replicate it in your personal and business worlds. Let me know how it goes. I wish you all the success in the world in your sales call known as life. The end.